Hi, everybody, and welcome to the last day of this masterclass. I can't believe it. I have so enjoyed this week with you, and it's gone so quickly. So thank you for showing up. And I mean, thank you yourself for showing up. Said it every day. Good for you. You carved out a little bit of time for you. Feels great, right? If you don't look after you, you're no good to nobody else. So if you've been doing those worksheets, you will for sure have started to experience some positive shifts. And that's just after 4 days, right? So after today, it's going to be even better. And imagine what you could accomplish in 9 months' time if you were doing the program. So I've absolutely loved seeing you all on here, and I've had actually some really good conversations with some of you already. So absolutely loving it. So I will be doing another masterclass really soon. Okay, so today is about one of the key components of achieving success, of getting your goal. And it's attitude. So it's your attitude that's ultimately going to determine your results. And we call it the magic word. So ask yourself, what is your attitude towards others? What's your attitude towards your work? And most importantly, what is your attitude towards yourself? And if you want to get a book, then this is a great book. It's called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by a writer called Shad Helmstetter. Put my teeth in. So great book. It's all about, all the things that we say to ourselves, and really gets clear what our attitude is towards ourselves. What are the stories that we are telling ourselves, and how to turn those into better stories. So your attitude towards yourself, do you react to situations and people, or do you respond? Right. So remember the stick person we talked about the other day, and the paradigms. Now, everybody is a stick person. You're a stick person, and everybody else is a stick person. So we are a spiritual being with a conscious mind and a subconscious mind in a body, and we're acting out our paradigms, basically. So when you really get that, when you really understand that, you really never have to argue with anybody again, right? Because you understand they've got their own paradigms going on. Okay? And you never have to get upset again, because you know that's their shit. It's not yours. And those people, people that are behaving badly, or people that are rude, or people that are, that are not approaching you in the right way, people that are maybe not nice people. The thing is that a lot of people are not thinking, right? Hardly anybody is thinking, and mental activity does not constitute true thinking. Now, start becoming aware of what people are saying and doing around you, right? This could be at work, in your private life, anywhere. Just start listening to what people are saying. Now, you'll realize that if they were thinking, they wouldn't be saying the stuff that they were saying. And if they were really thinking, they wouldn't be doing most of the stuff that they were doing, right? So just imagine them as a stick person and leave their crap with them. Okay. So it means that you can let it go, right? You don't have to ever take anything personally again. And you don't need to let, excuse me, you don't need to let anything ever affect you again. So what is attitude? Well, your attitude is the composite, I never know how to say that because I still am a little bit foreign. It's the composite of your thoughts, your feelings, and your action. Now, think about your thoughts. So you've got a power that's flowing into your conscious mind. Okay? So ideas come in and thoughts come in. And you can accept or reject those ideas, right? We talked about that in one of the first days. Now, you choose whether you're going to entertain a thought or an idea. And then you choose whether you're going to focus on the negative or on the positive pole of that idea and thought. So remember that you really are in control of your thinking. And it does take some practice, and need to become aware, and you've got to sort of guide your thoughts over and over and over again. A little bit like training a dog or training a horse. Got to do it over and over again until you get it. It's very much like that with your mind. And you really are in control of your thinking. So the thoughts that we accept and that we internalized, which means we get emotionally involved with it, they are impressed upon our subconscious mind. Now, the subconscious mind is the universal part of your mind. This is where everything and everybody is connected, and everything is attracted to you, and it communicates through vibration. So when we say connecting heart to heart, it basically means that two or more people operate on the same frequency. We talked about frequencies yesterday, right? On the same frequency relative to the same concept. And that's when things are in harmony, right? And that's when we feel good. And this is also when that happens, when you're connecting heart to heart and you're working towards the same objective. That's why a team of people that are doing that, so they're in harmony, working towards the same objective. That's why they are so powerful and successful, right? And they are not they're not competing. They are always creating. So that vibration sets up a feeling in your subconscious mind, and that is what attracts things to you, and it's what dictates your actions, right? We talked about that in it was day 2 and a little bit yesterday. So the thing is that when you have negative thoughts, which cause negative feelings and negative vibration and emotion, you're going to attract a negative result, right? But if you have positive thoughts, if you choose the positive end of the spectrum, and that creates positive feelings, a positive vibration, positive emotions, so you're going to get a positive results, right? Bad attracts bad, good attracts good, like attracts like. So your subconscious mind is also the home to your paradigms, right? So your paradigms are your multitude of habits, a belief system, conditioning, a bit like a computer program. And your paradigm controls the actions of your body. And remember, your body executes what's impressed on the subconscious mind, and it's executed through action. Law of cause and effect, action, reaction. There you go. You've got your results. Okay? So basically, your body is an instrument of the mind. It acts out what the mind is thinking and feeling. And the thing is that when you believe that you can do something, you're right. And when you believe that you can't do something, you're also right. And each of those beliefs will cause a very, very different action, right? So when you believe you can do something, you'll take a completely different action than when you believe that you can't do something. And I always give this example. My son Connor, who wants to be a pilot, 5 years old, wants to be a pilot for EasyJet. Now, I didn't talk him out of it, and he continued to believe that that was a possibility. And to be fair, at the time, I had no idea how I was going to pay for that, because I wasn't earning anywhere, near enough money for it to ever be able to do it. But I thought, well, if that's what he really wants, there'll be a way to do it. So because he believed he was going to be that pilot, and by the way, he really is going to be a pilot. He starts his training in a couple of months. But he took certain actions. So we did his best at school, in fact, at high school, he did just about what he needed to do, went into college, and then the plan had been for him to start training to apply with EasyJet when he finished college. But actually, that was in the middle of the pandemic, in the middle of COVID. And so EasyJet were not doing a cadet scheme. So at the time, he could have gone, well, I can't do it then, or I have to wait. But instead of that, because he really believed he was going to be a pilot, he didn't give up, and he looked for some university courses, and he found a university course down south, aviation, and the path there would be that he would do 3 years at university, actually come out with a degree, and alongside of it, do his private pilot training and do 2 years of commercial pilot training, and then find a job after that. So that was the plan. So off he went. And then just before the first year finished, EasyJet came up with their cadet scheme again, right? So he applied and he failed. And then he had to make a choice whether he was going to go back to do the university course or reapply for EasyJet, which would be, he would only be able to do that after his other university course had started again. But because his dream was to be an EasyJet pilot, and because he had decided that, okay, I failed the first time, now I have a tutor, which I got him, and so he worked with that tutor every week religiously, and guess what? He passed his test, all his exams, passed his interview, and now he starts, right? So because he believed it, he kept taking certain actions, and now he will be a pilot. Now imagine that there is a boy next door who was the same age as Connor, who also wanted to be a pilot, but he didn't believe he could be a pilot. He would have taken none of the actions that Connor took, right? He would not have done what he needed to do at school. He would not have looked for that university course. He would not have maybe had the tutor or the instructor. He just wouldn't have taken any of those actions because he didn't believe that it was possible. So now I want you to think of your goal, right? And so just let go of all the constraints. Don't argue for your limitations, right? Because like I said, no, I'll keep saying it. If an idea pops up in your mind, it pops up because you are capable of doing it. It is possible for that to happen for you, because otherwise you would not have the idea. Okay. So what we do with my training is that we determine what it is you want, what it is you really want, and then we're going to create your belief in that, right? Because once you believe it, guess what? It has to happen. Now, what's your attitude? So it's your attitude towards belief. It's your attitude towards your goal, right? So remember when we said yesterday that the frequency that we're operating on is what is going to attract things to you. Energy has to always come back to its source, and it's this, what you give out is what comes back to you. And if you really understand that everything has good in it and everything has bad in it, and then you choose to look for the good, or you choose to focus on the bad. So when you start to choose to look for the good in everything, that's an attitude, right? That's a way of being. And guess what? Good things have got to happen. And you feel, even if nothing happens, the fact is that you'll feel better, right? And I was at my hairdresser's the other week, and it was raining, and I was talking about it, and she was complaining because it was raining. I said, oh, miserable day again, blah, 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 blah. So she wasn't feeling good because she was taking the rain and she was complaining about the rain. And I said, well, you can sorry, something just popped up on my screen. And I said, well, you can look at this in a different way, right? So I would say, okay, well, it's raining. I'm actually sitting inside. I don't need to be outside. And because it's raining, I don't need to water my plants tonight in the garden. Saves me a job, right? So she's feeling a bit shitty and I'm feeling great because I choose to look for the good in something. I choose to look for what's the opportunity, what's the benefit, right? So try to start doing that. You've got to become aware in your daily life about things like this, right? So you've got to become the observer. You've got to become your own observer of your own thoughts. And once you start to do that, you will learn to respond rather than react. And you'll allow yourself time to choose your behavior and to choose your attitude. And be like this guy many years ago, Clement Stone, who said to himself, no matter what happens, I'm going to say, that's good. That's good. So whatever happened, he said, that's good. So try that this week. Or don't try. I don't like trying. Do that this week. Right? Everything that happens, say, that's good. Because by saying that, actually, it makes you look for the good in it, right? Now, one of the most important attitudes is the attitude of gratitude. Be grateful. Choose to be grateful. Choose to look for the good and choose to look for something that you can be grateful for, no matter how small it is. Now, think of something right now, that isn't quite how you want it to be. And now look for the good in that. What opportunity is that thing that is not quite working out giving you right now? Right? So there's something that you don't like, something that you don't want to be, you want it to be different, but it is at the moment what it is. So what is the opportunity in that? So it would be an example, this will be an example, right? So maybe you're single and you want a relationship, but for now you don't have a relationship, and so you can start to worry about that, and you can start to be upset about that, and you can start to go, why don't I have a relationship? Why doesn't nobody love me? All of that kind of stuff. But what you could do instead, because that doesn't feel good, right? So what you could do instead is you can start to think, okay, well, what are the kind of things I can do now while I'm single that I wouldn't really do if I was in a relationship? So think about that and then go and do it, right? So gratitude, when you give out good, good comes back. So when you're grateful, you're expressing appreciation, more things to be grateful for and more things to be appreciated will come to you. Now start a gratitude journal. This is one of the key routines that's really, really important, is to write every morning and every evening in a gratitude journal. And write 10 things down that you are grateful for. And it can be anything, right? Maybe it's your bed, your home, cups of tea, the dishwasher, your child's hand in yours, the laughs that you had with a friend, anything, washing up liquid. Now, include some of the things in that list that you would be grateful for when you have accomplished your goal. So, for instance, if your goal is to create more free time, be grateful for the free time. If your goal is to create better health, be grateful for the better health. If it is to have more money, be grateful for that amount of money that you want. Now, I am grateful for this material. I am grateful for you being here. And I am so grateful that I'm able to share with you and get you on your way to bigger and better. That's one of the most beautiful things about the work I do, is to really see that change in people and to see the light come back on in their eyes. It's wonderful, really, really amazing. I'm grateful for my clients, and they are experiencing some amazing results. Take a look at the testimonials. I'm grateful for me. I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for people who love me. I'm grateful for having people in my life that I can love. I'm grateful for my health. Now I want you to close your eyes. What are you grateful for? Think about what you're grateful for. It could be your feet. It could be your hands. Maybe your home. Central heating. It's so amazing. We've got central heating, right? And hot water. What's nicer than having a nice hot shower in the morning before you go to work? And central heating so that your house is nice and cozy and your family and your kids are comfortable. Like I said, cups of tea or cups of coffee. Where would you be without your dishwasher? So good to have plenty of free time. I'm so happy and I'm so grateful for having plenty of time and plenty of money to do everything I want to do. What about your holidays? What about the shoes that you're wearing? Oh, that coat that you bought the other day is amazing, right? Oh, and that fluffy duvet on your bed, how lovely, lovely is that? Oh, think of your friends, your good friends that you have such fun with and they're always supportive. What about your kids? They're awesome, right? Your income. Thank the Lord you've got an income. You're able to pay your bills. Amazing. Life is just amazing. Think of the flowers that are going to start to grow again. Think of your laptop. How good is it that you can have a laptop and you can basically be wherever you want to be, as long as you've got internet? Well, internet itself, how amazing is internet? It's made the world, made us able to connect. Maybe you've got family that live along or friends that live a long way away. How awesome is it that you can have things like Skype and FaceTime and video calls on WhatsApp? It's all so amazing. So many things to be grateful for. Start writing, and you don't have to stop at 10, right? If you did close your eyes, you could open them back up again now. So yeah, absolutely amazing. Gratitude. And when you go on, want to call it a rampage of appreciation, when you get onto one of those, you just keep thinking of more things. Remember how we said yesterday, like thoughts attract like thoughts. So as you start to appreciate things, as you start to think about things that you're grateful for, more things will come up and you'll just start feeling better and better and better. And the thing is that when you consistently do that every day, a few times a day, it will raise your sort of default vibration, right? And the better you're feeling, the better the stuff is that's going to come to you. So that gets us nearly, can you believe it, to the end of the masterclass. But I did want to read something to you, so let me just find it. This is a chapter from the book U Squared by Price Pritchard, and it's at the beginning of the book, and it's a true story. I'm sitting in a quiet room at the Millcroft Inn, a peaceful little place hidden back among the pine trees about an hour out of Toronto. It's just past noon, late July, and I'm listening to the desperate sounds of a life or death struggle going on a few feet away. There's a small fly burning out the last of its short life's energies in a futile attempt to fly through the glass of the window pane. The whining wings tell the poignant story of the fly's strategy. Try harder. But it's not working. The frenzied effort offers no hope for survival. Ironically, the struggle is part of the trap. It is impossible for the fly to try hard enough to succeed at breaking through the glass. Nevertheless, this little insect has staked its life on reaching its goal through raw effort and determination. This fly is doomed. It will die there on the windowsill. Across the room, 10 steps away, the door is open. 10 seconds of flying time, and this small creature could reach the outside world it seeks. With only a fraction of the effort now being wasted, it could be free of this self-imposing trap. The breakthrough possibility is there. It would be so easy. Why doesn't the fly try another approach, something dramatically different? How did it get so locked in on the idea that this particular route and determined effort offer the most promise for success? What logic is there in continuing until death to seek a breakthrough with more of the same? No doubt this approach makes sense to the fly. Regrettably, it's an idea that will kill. Trying harder isn't necessarily the solution to achieving more. It may not offer any real promise for getting what you want out of life. Sometimes, in fact, it's a big part of the problem. If you stake your hopes for a breakthrough on trying harder than ever, you may kill your chances for success. I love that story. There's so much truth in that. Because we do that, don't we? We think, well, just try a little bit harder. I'll try a different job. I'll try, this and that. And so maybe your circumstances have changed slightly, but you're still in the same position and you're still feeling the same. So trying harder, doing the same thing. This is Albert Einstein's definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And I can tell you, I promise you, if you keep doing what you're doing today and you keep telling yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, I'll do it whenever, you're not going to do it. You've got to decide that you're really ready that you've got to make a change, right? Now, the thing is that, you've probably started to think slightly different now, right? And you probably think, oh, I'm ready to make some improvements. But the thing is that all this masterclass, and it's awesome and it's amazing. It's great information, right? And you probably feel really fired up and enthusiastic, and you believe you're going to make that shift because you know exactly what you need to do. But it is actually very likely that within a few days, you'll be back to your old thoughts, back to your old feelings, and back to your old habits. And not much will actually change. Now, it's the same in the workplace, right? How often have you sat in a meeting, maybe it's a strategy meeting or a project meeting, and people are coming up with great ideas. People are enthusiastic, they're fired up, they're ready to go, and they're really, they leave that meeting and they go, yes, absolutely, we're going to do this. But then after a few days, everybody's busy and everybody falls back into their old habits and nothing happens, right? So just think how much time and effort and energy and money actually is invested in doing these kind of things, and then nothing actually comes out of it. How many books have you bought? How many we call them self-help books have you bought? How many conferences have you been to? How many little courses have you done? And it's, like I said, it's great information, but if you really want to make that shift, you need somebody really to hold you accountable for that, right? So just think that everybody who's good at something has a coach or a mentor, right? So maybe think of an athlete or an artist or, industry leaders. They all have somebody to bounce off. They all have somebody to guide them and to help them and to believe in them and to support them and to drag them out of their comfort zone and to hold them accountable, right? And you know that everybody who got good at something had a coach or an instructor. Now think of a personal trainer at the gym. If you have a personal trainer at the gym, they will keep you going, right? They will push you. And because you've got your PT on Monday, you're going to turn up at the gym, right? And you're going to practice. So I always give this example about, learning to play the piano. I played the piano a little bit, when I was younger, I learned to play, and I still play at the same level as I was when I was about 12. But I can play a little bit. But I wanted to learn, and I still want to learn to play jazz piano. And so when I was taking lessons and I had an instructor coming to the house, then I was practicing. The instructor would come on Thursday and I was practicing. If I hadn't practiced at the weekend, bloody hell, Tuesday, I would be at it, right? Because I knew my instructor was coming. But then I stopped the instructor, and guess what? 5-6 years down the line, when I first had that idea, I still can't play jazz piano. Okay? But the thing is that, because you know someone is holding you accountable, you will do it, right? And how did you learn to ride your bike? How did you learn to drive your car? Someone taught you, right? And someone encouraged you, and someone made you believe that it was possible. So you started to believe it, and then you did it. But it does take practice, and it takes effort, and it takes vulnerability, and it takes courage, right? Now, I always feel that one of the most valuable things that I can give to my clients is the thinking outside of the box, is to get them to allow themselves to entertain some new ideas, some ideas about what it is that they really want, right? And then to get them to believe in themselves. And I've done this myself before. People have believed in me, and I've borrowed their belief in me until I believed it themselves. And that's what my clients are doing. If they don't quite believe it themselves, they borrow my belief in it, or they borrow the belief of the fellow students in it. It's amazing. Just love it. So if you really want to improve some things in your life, and if you really want to achieve that goal, and you are actually committed to investing some time, some money, some energy in yourself, then absolutely we should talk, right? Now, I only work with people who are really serious about making a change, right? And wanting to make, some permanent improvements in their life, because I don't want to waste my time, and I don't want to waste your time or your money. Okay, so get in touch if you're serious about wanting to make some changes. And the thing is, if you're not going to do it now, if you don't change something right now, if you don't start something right now that's really going to get you going for your goal, then when are you going to do it? I was talking to someone not so long ago, and I asked them, do you want to look at your next 20 years? Do you want them to be the same as your last 20 years? Really? No, they didn't. So, but unless they're going to change something, nothing's going to change. Same for you. Unless you're going to change something, nothing's going to change for you. Because how long have you been doing it tomorrow, or next week, or next month, or when I have time, or when this happens, or when blah, 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 blah. Right? I've been talking to people, prospective clients, for 1 year, some even for nearly 2 years, right? And they are still in the same place they were when I spoke to them 1 or 2 years ago. Right? They've got slightly different circumstances. A couple of them have changed jobs, but they're in the same position. Right? They're still feeling the same, not happy. They're unfulfilled. They're dissatisfied. They're concerned. They're worried. They may be anxious, a bit depressed. But they have wasted nearly 1 or 2 years, right? Because they're still where they were at. Now, imagine if you work with this material for the next 9 months, then if things have changed for you in 5 days, then just imagine what is possible in 9 months, right? And for the rest of your life. Okay? So just imagine how your family, your loved ones, your friends, your colleagues, how you and the people around you would benefit from you actually accomplishing that goal, from you being okay, from you living the life that you want. Right? So just close your eyes for a minute and imagine that. Take a deep breath. Relax your shoulders, relax your body, and just imagine what your day looks like when you live that goal, when you have so much more even to be grateful for. It's awesome, right? Now, you can have that, right? You really can have that. All you need to do is just change the way you think, tweak your beliefs a little bit. I did it. Right? So I think I said on one of the days, I came out of a very bad situation. You can read all about it in the workbook. But I did it. I changed my life around. I quadrupled my income. I got my health back. I got my sanity back. I got my confidence back. I wake up feeling good every day. I can remember standing in front of my window in my old house not very many years ago, being so severely depressed and thinking it would be so nice just to wake up once a week feeling okay. And now I feel great. So think of the example that you would be giving to people around you, and especially your kids, right? If you've got your kids, because kids watch you. They don't listen. We all know they don't listen, but they watch what you do, right? So if you are giving yourself permission to go for what you want and to have the freedom to do what you want, then you give everybody else around you that same freedom. How good's that, right? And remember, success is a system. It absolutely is a system. If you follow the rules and you work in harmony with those universal laws that we touched on, then you have to be successful. You can't not be, because a law is a law. And when you understand it and you work with them, you got to be successful. So my training is a 6-month program. And remember, I'm adding 3 months for free. So we'll be working together for 9 months. Now, there are 12 modules. Each takes 2 weeks, and you will get daily videos, a participant's guide. We do weekly group lesson facilitations with me, and then alternative weekly inner circles. So we'll see you every week for an hour or just over an hour, and it's all on Zoom. So if you're really ready to invest a bit in you, just think back of those images of you being at your goal and you and your loved ones thriving, right? Because you made a decision to say, that's so cheesy, yes to you, right? So what will happen is when you work with me, we'll first of all start to determine what you really, really want, right? And some people have a very clear understanding of what they want, and some people have no clue whatsoever. So first of all, first couple of weeks, we get down to, okay, what is it exactly that you want, and what are the type of goals that we're going to set? And then I basically show you how to get it, right? So we do goals, knowing, doing gap. We get into beliefs and habits, productive, non-productive habits, self-image, the terror barrier, that's the biggie that's holding you back. We talk way more in depth about the magic of attitude. We get into leadership of yourself, leadership of others. And leaving, we talked about this the other day, leaving people with the impression of increase. Massive factor in success. And then the very last module, which will take you a good 6 months down the line, is masterminding, or basically magnifying your mind. Right? So there's lots of information in your workbook. Reach out if you're ready for a free discovery session. So we'll have about half an hour, 45 minutes together and get you on your way, right? Or send us your application form and then we'll connect with you in the next few days. Really, life is short. It really is very short, right? Live it well. Look back, make sure that you look back on a life that you enjoyed and that you got the most out of it. And make it awesome. Just make your life. You can make the decision right now, this second, that you're going to choose to have an awesome life. And the first thing you're going to do is look for the good in everything. And the second thing you're going to do is you're going to focus your mind and you're going to direct your thoughts to the good side of stuff, right? Because why the hell not, right? And if you don't do it now, when are you going to do it? Okay, guys. Oh, thank you so much for being here. I've thoroughly enjoyed every single day, and I'm already looking forward to seeing you soon and to doing the next masterclass. And actually, I'm going to do a corporate masterclass in April, so probably mid-April sometime. So watch out for that. And that's all about vision, strategy, leadership, making sure that everybody in the company is aware of the company's vision and all working in harmony towards the same objective. So, we talk about multiplying productivity and effectiveness of your teams, of all the people within your business, so your business can thrive very, very quickly and improve the profits. How good's that? Anyway, thanks everybody for being here. Reach out if you've got any questions. And let me know if you want to have that free discovery coaching session. And I really look forward to seeing you. Take it easy. Have a wonderful weekend. Thanks, guys and girls. Bye.